money actually works, guys. There's a book called OPM by Robert Kiyosaki. It's literally sitting in my office right here. So money itself is not a true asset. Money itself is a piece of paper like this, okay? I know we think that money itself has intrinsic value, but it really doesn't, because money's only purpose is to exchange it for something of greater value.
In 2016, when I quit my day job, for kind of 6 months, I just goofed around, played a lot of video games, drank too much, killed a lot of time, and probably some brain cells. And after those 6 months, I look back on it, I really asked myself, like, am I proud of what I've done? Like, what sort of impact did I make? And shortly after that, that's when I started founding groups like London on Fire. That's when I started my YouTube channel. And that's really when I started finding some meaning, because
Hey YouTube, not sure if you guys have been paying attention, but myself and Ben Humble, CEO, that's Ben right there, we've launched a new business called Cashflow Tribe, and what it's focused on is really just creating a community for real estate investors from across Canada and realistically even across North America. This is really about filling the gaps between what I've seen from other networking events, other coaching classes, other communities, and this is just kind of our hybrid. This is our secret sauce to building and creating a successful real estate business. We're pouring all the information that we've gathered between the 20 years of experience between the two of us that we have in real estate investing. That's all going into Cashflow Tribe. We've recently started doing some free webinars, and I thought it'd be great to share with you guys an example of one of those webinars. Again, this is unlike most of the YouTube content that we've posted in the past. I'd love to get your feedback. What do you guys think about this video? Do you enjoy this? It's over an hour long, so I'd love to get your feedback. Would you like to see longer content on my YouTube channel? Oh, and by the way, not sure if you guys noticed, but we're doing a video a day in 2020. Are you guys enjoying that? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's dive into today's video with myself and Ben.
Cashflow Tribe.
What's going on, everyone? Matt and Ben here. We're just going to give you guys a couple more seconds to get settled, let a few more people jump in, but we're really excited to do today's Cashflow Live training, and really excited just to share with you guys again our talk on OPM, kind of breaking down some limiting beliefs and sharing some of the tips and tricks we've acquired over the years. And Ben's got some great book recommendations for us as well. So
do me a favor real quick, guys. If you can hear us okay, give me a thumbs up real quick and let me know that we're good to go so we can get started. We've got some pretty awesome content that we need to cover today. Carolyn, hey, how are you? Austin, yay. Yay. Hey, just messing around, guys. We've had a great day here, you know, going over some amazing things for Tribe. So let's get started right away here. So welcome. We're going to talk about some OPM, passive stuff, lifestyle, legacy stuff. So we just want to get started with it right away. Matt, why don't you take it away, bud?
Yeah, so let's chat a little bit about exactly what is Cashflow Tribe. So our mission statement is creating a transparent investor community in Canada solely focused on results through increased cash flow, collaboration, and impact. And that impact word's really important for both I and Ben.
Yeah, definitely. Like we love the idea of creating a community, and it's just the sense of investors that can get together with no nonsense, no BS, you know, no egos, and just helping each other grow in cash flow, because we truly believe in the power of unique abilities and helping each other with what we're good at. So if you guys don't know who we are, real quick, go by Ben Humble, CEO. Guys, I've done over $21 million in private mortgage deals here in Canada, and we only talk Canada, by the way. We're not American investors. We're both Canadians doing stuff. I spent a lot of money on my personal development, over 200 grand, and you know, I'm the top wholesaler here in my region. And I decided to partner with Matt here. And, you know, Matt, tell them real quick who you are.
Yeah, if you guys haven't stumbled across myself or my story, I'm a real estate investor based out of London, Ontario. At this point in time, I have over 80 rental units, over 100 tenants.
Boom.
And back in 2016, I quit my day job because of real estate investing and started a YouTube channel. I've been releasing videos now for over 3 years. There's over 500 videos documenting my journey as a real estate investor. And the reason I started documenting it was I really needed resources as a Canadian investor that was focused on Canadians. There's a ton of stuff out there for Americans, but there's really not a lot for us Canadians, especially practical, tactical advice. And that's what I'm trying to do on my YouTube channel. And that's really why we came together to form Tribe, as well as we've recognized the fact that Canadians need a community to really band around and gather.
Yeah, the Americans, they got a company called Bigger Pockets. Anybody here, by the way, a member of Bigger Pockets? If you're on the audience today, let me know. But we basically wanted to create a Canadian version of Bigger Pockets, but a bigger version of Bigger Pockets here in Canada. So we're pretty excited to get together. We've been kind of working in parallels for a number of years. He's doing deals, I'm doing deals. We're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we just join forces? I'm like the loud guy who likes to perform and do all this awesome stuff. Matt's a little bit more reserved, and he's an accountant by trade. So it's just a cool thing that we can get together. So you probably relate to one of us better than the other. But this is basically what Cashflow Tribe is about. Big thing for us is training, accountability, and access to off-market private deals. Who in here is buying deals right now? Like, who's looking for off-market deals? Give me a thumbs up or a yes if that's you. Okay. Tribe is really about just we do weekly trainings. Okay. We have on-demand and pre-recorded stuff. So if you've ever been on Matt McKeever's YouTube channel, you got what, 500 videos?
Yeah,
there?
over 500 videos now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think one of the biggest things, and a lot of people go to those videos and they watch them, but I think what's lacking is accountability, because people don't ever, become accountable to themselves. They sit back and consume, but they never really like reach out to somebody, say, can you help me? Can you mentor me? So we just thought that we needed to create a tipping point effect to the YouTube videos by just getting people into an accountable environment. And that's what the accountability calls are. So we do that. We're just two regular guys. We call ourselves practitioners because we actually do the work. Like when you go to a hospital and there's like the health practitioner, like that's the person doing the work. They're not like overseeing other like people. They're those people. So we're doing real deals every day. Actually was looking at a really sweet commercial building yesterday here in Windsor. We're looking to put together because we had a really awesome boot camp over the weekend. So we're leveling up, trying to figure out stuff. Matt's whole team was down at the office today, and you guys were out looking at deals too, right?
Yeah, so literally we were just hitting doors, right? Sent Mike Nowicki out to knock on doors, try and find some multifamily deals. And kind of back to what Ben was talking about with accountability, one of the saddest or most frustrating parts about having my YouTube channel is when I find out people have been watching for a year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years, and they still haven't actually taken action and got into real estate investing. The whole reason that I'm documenting my journey as a real estate investor is really so that you guys can follow along and start taking action yourselves. So I realized that there's clearly some sort of gap there between the information I'm providing on YouTube and what's necessary in order for you guys to actually take action, get into real estate, and start getting the results you want. And that's really what we were focused on doing with this community, with Cashflow Tribe.
Love it. I love it. So real quick, is it good for you guys? I don't know. I mean, I think it's best for people that are really pursuing, like increasing their cash flow and pursuing financial independence. Matt and I, in our early 30s, we both were able to kind of retire from real estate. And I love this stuff. So I love having an office and having a team. But like right now, I make over 30 grand a month passively for my mortgage portfolio. And Matt's got several $1,000s a month that he can literally sit at home and we can sit on a beach and do nothing. So it's cool for people who want to pursue that kind of lifestyle. And maybe that's not your thing, but if you guys want to have more cash flow, this is really designed for people with less than $20,000 a month of passive cash flow for real estate. So landlords, flippers, wholesalers, and people who just want to get started. That's what Tribe is all about. And that's why we're happy to put it together. And so we kind of stand for 4 things. I believe it's important to identify your belief system and your intentions to people. And the first thing we want to really stand for is transparency, right? There's no holding back on strategy, on stuff, because we live in abundance, right?
Yes.
And there's no reason for us to live in scarcity and think that there's only so many deals or only so much money. We just don't think that way. So we really want to cultivate an environment where we live in transparency. We create a sense of real community. And we'll talk about that later. It's the power of unique ability. Doing what you're really good at and then letting somebody else doing what they're good at is a much better and more efficient way to grow than trying to do everything yourself. And then the one thing, like you just talked about, is too many people are not getting results because they're not doing the work. So we're really, really big on getting results. So if you're a member of Tribe, like, we're pushing for those results every day. And then ideally, like our big push together, our why behind it is creating impact.
Yes.
We want to put Canadian real estate investors like kind of on the map. We want to create a better sense of unity among Canadian investors and not just a bunch of isolated people working in different silos. We really want to bring that together, right?
Yeah, it's so much more powerful and we can accomplish so much more when we come together.
Yeah. So talk about this piece here. What's the why, man?
So yeah, really our why behind it is Cashflow Tribe is the voice of cash flow practitioners, right? So we're really focused. We both wanted to be able to step away from kind of the normal 9 to 5. And the only way to do that is to build up cash flow. And for both of us, we saw real estate as being the core vehicle that's going to allow us to build our wealth, build our cash flow. And so we both experienced this freedom. by just being active practitioners, rolling up our sleeves. And Ben was talking about taking action. Literally today, my team, we've made 5 offers already today.
Boom.
So like,
there it is.
That's how you make real estate happen. And way too often I'm talking with real estate investors and they aren't making offers. If you're not making offers, you can't get deals. And so we don't believe that people should be sucked into coaching companies that charge thousands of dollars without delivering results, or with coaches that aren't actually taking action, right? Like, I think it's really important that you surround yourself with people that are doing exactly what you want to do. They're just 1 or 2 steps ahead of you so that you can follow on their path and really gain the bonuses and the benefits of those synergies. And Cashflow Tribe is all about impact on the national level. So this really is about Canada-wide for real estate investors. We've got already all kinds of investors on the East Coast that are taking tons of actions. Actually, just like 2 weeks ago,
Danny,
funded Danny's
I funded
deal.
Danny's deal. Danny is a brand new investor out of Nova Scotia, and he was on the call last week, and we funded a deal for him. He found a little property out there, and up until this point, he'd never flipped the property on his own because he thought he had to get bank financing. So, like, literally, he was a contractor, and he didn't know what to do. So he joined Tribe, and within 3 weeks of being in Tribe, he realized that we actually have a fund inside of Tribe specifically designated towards like funding purchases for investors. There's a $2 million fund there, and we funded Danny's deal, and I was doing his very first flip, which is awesome. He's going to make over 30 grand on that flip. And all he had to do was just get around the people that know, and get around people that have access to money, and people who are truly like, you know, real investors, not a bunch of gurus sitting on a stage talking about stuff they've never done. So yeah, good on Danny, man. It was awesome. Very, very cool. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to just talk about real quick. So clear training and education is what we're all about. Accountability through participation. So I really want you guys and girls to do me a solid. And if you're on this call, I need you to participate in the comments. You will get more out of this if you participate. And if you have a ton of questions, just save them, because at the very end, we're actually going to go through and answer every question that's out there. And we're going to have time for this. We're not going to go very long tonight. We have a lot of information to cover. I've actually got like 42 slides of stuff, so you really got to get cranking on this. But save your questions. We'll get them at the end. But just engage, you know, like make sure that you're participating. If you're just sitting in the background, I need you to turn off your distractions, turn off your Facebook, and really get dialed in on what we're about to talk about. And we're going to talk about deals, supportive community, and we're just going to have some good old fun. That's what Tribe is all about. So let's break into what we're going to do tonight. How money actually works, right? Which is a huge thing that most people don't know. Does anybody here really know how money works, like on a very, you know, granular level? Like how we create money, how we print it, how we distribute it in this society, how we consume it, and then how it gets regurgitated? Anybody, give me a thumbs up or a hand if you guys know. We're going to go over that. We're going to go over goal setting 101. We're going to go over mindset. And then we're going to crush some massive limiting beliefs that hold people back about doing real estate deals in Canada. So we're going to jump into, my man Mark is saying counsel, not advice. Yes. So Mark must have been on our last YouTube channel when we were talking about only get information from people that can counsel you because they've done it and because they do it. Don't just get advice from people in your life, parents and otherwise, even though they mean well. The problem is they're not qualified to talk about the subject. They're talking from their own limiting beliefs because they've never done it. So always seek counsel. Don't just seek advice. I'm going to let Matt hit the disclaimer, and then we're getting rolling.
All right, let's dive into this disclaimer. So Ben Mearson, Matt McKeever, and Cashflow Tribe are not real estate agents, financial planners, nor holds any certificates or degrees in relation to the real estate market. Above parties are not a member of any accredited organization or association in relation to the real estate market. Everything discussed today is the personal and sole opinion of Ben and Matt, based upon observations of the real estate market. It is in no way to be considered as legal or financial planning advice. Before any consideration is given to a real estate investment strategy, do not invest on this information without first consulting with a licensed attorney, properly accredited in the jurisdiction, and having expert knowledge in the practice of real estate or private mortgage investing should never be considered until after you have consulted with both legal and financial professionals who understand the risks and can advise you properly. This message is in no way a solicitation for financing transactions with Ben or Matt or any of our affiliates, corporate or otherwise, but again, should only be viewed as only points of discussion and consideration with your own professional advisors.
Woo, that's a mouthful. There we go. All right, guys. So we're just here to have a conversation, and let's get started now that that's done. So let's go on how money actually works. I'm going to give you some awesome book recommendations today. By the way, I speak pretty quick, so if you need me to slow down, just let me know. Shoot me a thing in the comments saying, hey, dude, you're talking too quick. Slow it down for us. I just have a lot of energy. That's just how I roll. So I'm even drinking a caffeinated beverage right now because I got too much of the jitters. So here's how money actually works, guys. There's a book called OPM by Robert Kiyosaki. It's literally sitting in my office right here. So money itself is not a true asset. Money itself is a piece of paper like this, okay? I know we think that money itself has intrinsic value, but it really doesn't, because money's only purpose is to exchange it for something of greater value. So in a society, let's say I want to barter with somebody else and I have pickles and he has carriages and I want to exchange pickles for carriages, that's fine. But the moment we have to buy something outside, I want to barter for something else, we have to create some kind of medium of exchange because there's only so much available pickles and carriages at the moment. So we have to create this fiat currency or this thing called money that we can use to exchange value. So the truth is that money will literally dies every day. If you keep money in the bank, it's dying. It's weathering away through the power of inflation. So what needs to happen is, because that money is printing, it's the law of supply and demand. The more money in circulation, the higher the supply, right? The lower the price of it is. That's just how it becomes. And because the national debt keeps rising, Canada and the US, and because the amount of money in circulation keeps rising, the value of those dollars in circulation will start to depreciate. It'll start to lose value. So what I want to help you understand is that there's no shortage of money in this world. There's simply a shortage of creativity in how to go ahead and start creating money. So real wealth, folks, it's not made, it's created. It's not earned. You have to find a way to create money via using a vehicle that'll allow you to create it, like real estate. But you got to start thinking money is not the be-all, end-all. The money is simply a means of exchange for the next thing, right? The cash that we have needs to be exchanged at some point for cash flow, because cash flow is the one thing that can produce the lifestyle and the things that you want. The cash itself will wither away. So using the leverage of what we call OPM, that's other people's money, OPR, other people's relationships or resources, OPT is other people's time. We're talking about real life business. Real estate is just the segment of business, but we are in business. We're not just in real estate. Does that make sense? So we want to start thinking about money and how can I leverage it? You guys got to start thinking, like, instead of playing checkers, we need to play chess. Instead of making these little basic moves like going to your 9-to-5 job, getting your income, spending it on groceries, like that is very much checkers. How do you now leverage resources, credit, availability of capital so you can inject it back into yourself, number one, and then back into real estate deals or another vehicle to create more and more? So the truth is this: a lot of people, they play to not lose. They don't play to win, right? And the way that you start playing to win is by investing in yourself. You see, a lot of us have these belief systems and we go on like generation on a generation of the same thought patterns and the same belief systems about money. We don't understand that, like, how are they worth $6 billion versus being worth $60? He didn't earn $6 billion. He could not have traded enough time or energy ever to be worth $6 billion. But what that person could have done was understand the laws of money, understand that they could trade it and simply create $6 billion. So how many people believe that money is created and not earned? And how many of you, and it's okay, be honest, how many of you are stuck with the whole, like, I have to earn it by going to a job? This is a very real question that a lot of people get stuck on. I just want to kind of work through this conversation a little bit. So if you're stuck, let me know. If you're not, then, let me know the other side. But I want to see where your thought pattern is. Another solid book, we'll kind of go on from there, is another Rich Dad Poor Dad book called the Cashflow Quadrant, okay? So Cashflow Quadrant is about the process by unsticking yourself, right? So we start at the E, which is the employee, then we go to the self-employed, then we go to the business owner, then we go to the investor. There is a very methodical process to creating wealth. And the way to do that is you have to go through the different types of activities that wealth is created. So the first thing I need you to do is, number one, we have to get financially responsible. Stop spending your after-tax dollars on liabilities. Liabilities are things like, car payments and, all this other stuff that we don't necessarily need, the big screen TV hanging on your wall. That doesn't help you. The first thing that I did when I started at 23 with my wife, we got married, I spent money in my brain, in myself, because I know that there's things that I just don't know. So I had to invest in my own financial ignorance that was keeping me broke. I had a little business, I was doing things like that, but I didn't understand that I couldn't just have a little business and make a little money. I had to find a way to become an investor. And when you become an investor, the job of the investor is to multiply resources. That is the only job an investor has. And if you have a coach right now or a mentor and they're not multiplying resources, they're not an investor, right? If you gave me $1, I'll turn it into $2 via real estate, via other things, right? But if I've got that ability, that's what makes an investor. So ability equals investor, right? If you don't have that ability, it's because you're lacking knowledge or experience. So my job is to help you understand that you need the knowledge and the experience or the confidence from somebody else who's experienced to start thinking about money in a different way, right? How many times, folks, do we get around other people and like people who are doing much bigger things than we are, and all of a sudden our brain starts to shift a little bit, and you're like, well, what if Johnny can do it, maybe I can do it, and if this person can do that, maybe I can do it. So doesn't it start to shift kind of like the way you think about stuff? What do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah, I 100% agree. Actually, this weekend, I went through a big personal mental shift. We did a special boot camp. Maybe some of you guys saw it here in Windsor. And it really clicked for me when I saw our guest speaker, Dan, talk about just his approach to real estate investing. But getting back kind of on topic, we really like to think of it as we're in a barter society right now. So you've got time, energy, or money. You've probably got one of these resources, and there's other people out there that have these other resources. And so it's really important that we understand that we all have a finite amount of these resources, and that when we come together, when we can collaborate and focus on our unique abilities, that's really where we're going to find like the power to really leverage and get the results we want as real estate investors. So often case younger people, they've got a lot of time, but they maybe don't have a lot of money. So they trade that time and go get a job and to start getting some money. Retired people often have saved up a lot of money, but they've got less energy now. They maybe got less time. Maybe they're stuck in that golden handcuffs of a great paying job, but they haven't built up any passive or semi-passive income. And so kind of the next action steps on this is find out exactly what resources do you guys have. Do you have time? Do you have energy? Or do you have money? Or maybe you have some combination of all three. And then develop, a unique skill or a unique ability that's going to allow you to really compound or take advantage of that resource. And then finally trade that resource for others at a higher value than they are today. So for example, a retired person with $100,000, they can find a competent active investor, and they can be the silent passive money investor in this deal. And they can trust on that unique skill or that unique ability that the active investor has. They already have the competency, they already have the background and experience, and they already know how to find deals. So we can pair up together and really leverage each other's abilities or each other's resources. And together we get a lot more than we ever would by ourselves.
Yeah, it's once you start understanding this kind of barter society value proposition, then you realize like if you're really good with money, then why are you going out swinging a hammer trying to do a rehab job?
Yeah.
So this week we really identified that there's so many different types of strengths. Like a lot of us focus on our weaknesses when instead of we just focus on our strengths. And it's the reason that we do that, I think, is because we don't have a community of people who have the other strengths that we're lacking. So we try to do it ourselves. We try to focus on our weaknesses, and all that means is that we're just playing smaller than we have to play. And we're playing, in less capacity because we don't have the confidence that somebody else will pick up the pieces. It's really a lack of trust. But when you have somebody else who's just as inclined as you are, and they're just as focused and dedicated, and you trust that person to do their job, then it's so much easier for you to just do your job versus trying to do every job. Like imagine you're on a submarine, and everybody has a role in that submarine. Everybody's dedicated, and the whole goal is to not sink that submarine. You got to get where you're going. Well, you have to trust the guy next to you or the girl next to you to do their job in the submarine. You can't just jump in there and do their job for them, and then you leave your station unattended. A group of smart, educated investors who create a community are on that submarine. They all want the same thing. They're all focused on growth, but they all have different things that they're good at. Some people have to drive the submarine. Other people have to analyze the data. Other people have to conduct and be in charge of people. Other people have to do. So when you have that different thought process and you think about it differently, it's so much easier to make more money. Does that make sense, guys? It's so much easier to make more money as part of a community than to make it on your own. The question is, have you developed your unique ability? And fleshing that out goes beyond just doing real estate deals. It's about sitting back, analyzing what are you great at, and then how can you get better? And then how do you get paid for who you are, not what you know? Because you see, I think with unique ability is the person you become, the knowledge, the understanding, right? The resources, connections. You'll actually make money because of who you are. right? Like if you want to hire a famous actor, you know, like let's say you want to hire The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, to come and be your fitness trainer, it's because of who he is today. It's because of what he knows, how he can help you, and all the shortcuts that you get in hiring him directly versus trying to figure it out on your own. That's the value of the barter society. That's the value of working as a community. So another great book where I want you guys to start, if you're struggling in finding your unique ability, start with goal setting and get this book. It's called The Slight Edge. This thing was amazing. I gave it up to my whole team. I think it's such a valuable book. It helps you decide and figure out like what your ability is and then what do you need to do on a daily consistent level in order for you to grow as an investor in your mindset. You see, what nobody really talks about is they throw strategies at you, but they don't tell you that everything you need is up here first. If you can develop the right mental framework around how to think about real estate, then you'll change how you act about real estate. Like that's why I've done over 200 deals while some people have done 2 deals. It's because I'm just thinking about real estate in a different way. So I want to help you today think about playing chess, not checkers. So what you can do then is you have to get real. Like everybody tells you to write down your goals, and there's no better time of year than right now to really sit back and evaluate what do you want for 2020? What do you want it to look like? So you have to sit down and figure out what do you want, reverse engineer those, create a daily action plan. And the reason why we don't do it, folks, is because nobody's holding us accountable. It's just as easy to do it as it is to not do it. Does that make sense? So that's why we always put it off till tomorrow, like that workout or that other thing we're supposed to do, or reading 5 pages of a book a day, or making that offer. It's easy to make the offer tomorrow when you could have just made it today. So what I want you to do is get into this mindset of data, not drama, and remove the drama from your life. You'll be so much more effective and you'll grow so much quicker. So here's an example. Matt, if you want to break into this, give them an example of like, what does this look like? Because sometimes we overcomplicate this process.
Yeah, way too many investors want to really complicate the process when trying to figure out how to get started in real estate investing. Do I need an LLC? Do I need this complicated corporate structure? Well, let's take a step back and focus on what are we trying to accomplish as real estate investors? For a lot of us, we're looking to replace our day job with real estate cash flow. So in this case, what we've done here is broken out for you a basic monthly budget. So let's assume that you spend $500 a month on food, $1,000 a month on rent, $600 on your car, $300 on your clothing, and another $1,000 just on miscellaneous things. We're spending $3,400 a month. While our number one goal with real estate investing shouldn't be to make $100,000 a month, it should really be, let's just replace that expense, or let's meet our expenses with our income from real estate investing. So in this case, if in your market, you can get $350 a month in cash flow from a rental property or a rental unit, well, then in that case, we only need 10 units in order to meet or exceed our living expenses. What that means is you could buy 1 10-plex or 10 single family houses or some combination of units in between. It's really not that complicated, but a lot of us want to throw out all these what ifs and just all these worst case scenarios rather than focusing on the data, not the drama or the what ifs.
Well, and somebody came, so we had Dan over at the Dan Crosby Lambo Lapdog was with us at the boot camp we did last weekend. And, you know, somebody's like, Dan, what's your favorite metrics and your favorite this, your favorite that? And Dan's like, I don't know, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. We all overcomplicate this stuff because we think for some reason if it's more complicated, it's better. But if it's more complicated, it's just more complicated. See, the problem with complicating is that it reduces the level of action behind it because you're adding so many potential hurdles to you taking action, and you feel better by complicating it because it feels more sophisticated, but you're less likely to do the work if you overcomplicate. So when you say to me, I want to make 100 grand a month, cool, we'll start with 5, start with 3, but before any of that, start with 1. Find that goal, right? Find that goal. In this case, it's easy. $3,500 a month, $350 per unit. I need 10 doors. That's it. That's where you got to get as fast as possible. Until then, blinders on and keep going. So, like, let's just get that specific, okay? It is like Mark's saying, it's 100% game of inches. Inches, guys, instead of like taking these massive leaps. But the reason we do this is because I've got this theory that more people would rather talk about real estate than actually do the work. And the reality for that is that it's fun, it's exciting to go for coffee and talk to people and go to networking groups, but it's hard to be like, go home and just do the work and make calls and do that stuff. Like nobody wants to do that because it's not exciting. It's not attractive, but that's the stuff that wins. Like guys, the reason I did so many deals, I just did the work. Is that like People want to know what's the secret, what's the best marketing strategy, what's this and that. There is none. And anybody who tells you is just lying. It's full of shit. Like the best is what you actually do. So it's just like working out. What's the best fitness plan? The one you stick with. That's the best fitness plan, right? So you don't need all the information in the world to just take action. What you need is accountability, folks. Like when you got to lose that last 10 pounds, you go to the gym, you go get that trainer. I was 40 pounds overweight. I had to go and I got a trainer and said, hey, I need to get in shape. So he texted me and called me almost every day saying, dude, did you do the thing? Did you do the thing? Are you following the plan? Are you doing the macros? It's the same with real estate. When I started getting accountable, with what I needed to do in business by paying a mentorship, like I pay 50 grand a year, this, for a mentor to keep me accountable for what I have to, that's $50,000. Do you think I would pay it if I wasn't making more?
Yeah, it seemed pretty crazy if you were.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but I recognized early on that if I don't have somebody holding me accountable, then what's going to happen is I'm just going to keep making excuses and push it on tomorrow. So the action takers always win in life. That's just the way it is. So how do you develop the mindset of a winner? I'm going to give you the no drama approach, right? Does the basic math about the deal work? And I mean literally napkin. Can you write it on a napkin and it makes sense? Like we're analyzing this deal the other day, actually live in one of these sessions that we had together, right? We're analyzing this deal live with a small group of cash flow people. And we're like, does this deal work? In like 3 minutes, we have to analyze this deal. Boom, make the offer, go. So if it makes sense, you have to just write the offer, okay? Does it align with your goals? So if you know what you want in life and you're buying a specific type of deal or a specific neighborhood, does it align with that goal, or are you getting shiny object syndrome? And then one of my favorite mental hacks, folks, is like, what is the worst case scenario that can possibly happen if I write this offer? It gets accepted. Like what is the worst thing happen? It gets accepted and then what? Like what? Then you have to go find the money? Like putting yourself in constraints is huge. If you put yourself in a constraint and you're willing to push yourself, you'll force yourself to find the answers. The problem is most of you guys are just too comfortable. You're really not putting yourself in any constraint. You're not uncomfortable enough. So that's why you're struggling to do more deals, okay? And then one of my big things, Matt knows, I'm speed. I just move faster than the next person. If you're making offers and you want to win, you have to move quick. You don't have the luxury of waiting for all this stuff because somebody will come from behind you and snag that deal, okay? And then what I ask myself as a mindset of a winner is like, what is my limiting belief today? What's the one thing today that I'm not doing that I should be doing that's probably holding me back from more success? Because there is a limiting belief. Like if you don't have what you want, you're stuck somewhere. There's something you're not doing. It's just the reality of life. So we need to fight those limiting beliefs. And I only talk to people who know what they're talking about, right? I pay my mentor because he knows.
Yeah, and because you're able to get counsel from him, not advice, right? Like it's so critical. And the moment Ben kind of broke this concept down for me, again, that was one of those moments where that light bulb just clicked on. I was like, yeah, why would I ever take advice from someone that's not actively doing it? If someone that hasn't already done it, it makes no sense. But oftentimes we have friends and family members that while they have the best of intentions, they don't have any experience to back up their statements or their belief system.
Yeah.
And it's really important that we look deep within ourselves and analyze those beliefs that we have, because that's what's holding us back. It's that idea that no one's going to loan me money because I don't have experience. No one's going to say yes to me. No one actually makes money in real estate. All those basic limiting beliefs that you've probably heard from friends and family. That's what's holding you back from that mindset of being a winner.
Yeah, and just don't be a sheeple. You know what sound sheeple make? Yeah, let's go for it. Sheeple are just people that act like sheep. They literally just do the same thing the next guy does, the next guy does. And here in Windsor, where I'm at, sheep are like, I got on my job, and they're always complaining and glass half empty. Folks, you cannot be glass half empty in life. You're either glass half full or you're not winning. And a lot of us, they have this glass half empty thing because we have the wrong reality, right? We think in a reality, and for a moment, I want you to just take a step back and think, is what I think wrong? Is there any chance that my thought process is wrong on this? Okay? Because a lot of us live in this reality of these detrimental limiting beliefs. That if you can fight these things and you can start changing your reality, you'll change your actions. You'll change your mindset. You'll change your results. You'll change everything you want to do. But if you're not willing to do that, then you're going to be stuck in the same reality that you've had. So if you don't have the result that you want today, then you need to do something different. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like, we're in our early 30s and we've already achieved financial independence. But I promise you, my reality is probably not your reality. I don't live in your world. I live in a whole different world where I know that the way to the top is to crush limiting beliefs, find people who know what I don't know, pay them to find out what they don't know, what I don't know, and then get accountable and have somebody keep walking me and guiding me through. Like, if I can take, again, I'm an investor. My whole job is to take $1 and turn it into 2. So if I can invest $1 in my brain and 2 of it comes out, am I not investing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So there's only 2 ways I find you can learn in life. You can learn from your own mistakes. That usually takes a long time. Or you can learn from somebody else's mistakes, which I call wisdom, right? Like, they've gone through it, they've experienced it, they have an awareness around it, and then they can talk about it. So my whole thing is this: I use other people's money, OPM, credit cards, bank, whatever, and I go and I buy other people's confidence. I buy experience, I buy training, I buy courses, but from the right people who are practitioners, right? I then use what I learned to be able to take $1 and turn it into 2 or 3 or whatever. And then I use the money that I get from those investments to pay back my training. That's the way that I've grown to where I'm at. Because I know one thing: when I was younger, guys, I failed math 2 times in high school. I knew that I wasn't going to be the smartest guy out there. I knew that I wasn't a genius or anything. But so I knew that I had to, like, live in this state of, you know, just being always curious and always pushing. And I had to go and get help. Just like when I went to study hall, I'd have to go to study hall, I'd have to sit down with the person. They'd help walk me through the different course or whatever I had an issue with that day. And I knew that was probably going to be my whole life, is go to study hall. I didn't realize that going to study hall would make me rich.
Yeah.
Right? Because going to study hall made me humble. And going to study hall made me realize that I can't do it on my own, and I have to go and get the right information.
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of stuff on YouTube. There's plenty of stuff that you can go watch for free. But it's just like sitting in class and learning it. Like, sometimes you have to just go to study hall. You just got to go where there's people there that know what you don't know and are willing to walk you through it. And that's the only way to truly grow quickly. Will you agree? Like,
yeah,
you probably didn't go to study hall because you're smarter than I am, but.
No, I 100% agree, though, because I see it on my YouTube channel all the time. People that aren't taking action, that have been commenting for years on my YouTube channel, and they still haven't submitted an offer. They still haven't closed on a deal. And yet I'm seeing it right now in the accountability group with guys like Danny that, like, in under 5 weeks, right, of joining, like, they're out there taking action, getting results. And it's so critical that we understand that that's oftentimes we already have the information, right? Like, pretty much all the information's already on my YouTube channel. If you guys have been binging my YouTube content, you probably already know what you need to do, and yet there's still something holding you back from taking that action. In my opinion, that's limiting beliefs. That's not surrounding yourself with the right people. There's a really big reason that I say that your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
You need to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. I know with myself, just working with Ben these last couple of months, like, I personally feel like I'm constantly leveling up because Ben's pushing me further. And that's something that I desperately needed. And I think that's something that we all need to continue just our education through life.
Yeah, actually, Danny just popped on the call. Danny,
awesome.
Here you go. Danny Godbout. We just did a deal there together. So, folks, discipline's a huge piece. Here's another book I'm going to recommend to you. It's called The Compound Effect. And again, starting with the daily micro commitments that you make to yourself and keep will eventually compound over time into these massive things. You see, people want to know, like, what is the one thing they have to do, or the one big secret, or the one thing that they can do to really become successful. And the one thing that you can really do is keep the promises you make yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Keep those daily commitments, because just by doing it, you're going to grow. Think about it like a bank account. You know, in a savings account, if every day you just dropped in a penny into that account, penny, 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 in a year you'd have 365 pennies. So did you deposit your penny today? Did you deposit your piece of discipline today? Did you invest in yourself today, or did you skip a day? And every time we skip a day, we just cheat the system, because there's no shortcuts. If you want to get to where I'm at, you either have to, you know, put more pennies away, right? Or invest in a better bank account that doubles your return or gives you a better ROI. Like, you have to either buy somebody else's confidence, or you have to, you know, learn it the hard way. But it doesn't stop you from having to put the pennies in. And just so we're clear, you can't hire a mentor and not put pennies in. If you don't do the work, no amount of mentorship will make you rich. That's not how it works. Mentorship is literally the bank account. It's the platform that allows you to put your pennies in. But you got to do the work. You have to show up. You have to stay focused. You still got to do the piece. But if you do, dude, the rewards are there. It's awesome. It's awesome. We actually did a quick survey. You want to touch on it real quick?
Yeah. So we wanted to kind of break down some limiting beliefs of current Cashflow Tribe members and kind of where their headspace is at. So you can see right here on the left-hand column, we've got what people have spent on their education. And we can see 27% of people have literally spent $0 on their education. They've literally invested $0 in themselves and their future as real estate investors. 40% have spent less than $1,000. That means 67%, almost 3/4, are really not investing whatsoever in themselves. Another 23% have invested 1 to 5K, and then really only 10% have invested over $5,000 into their future as a real estate investor. Yeah. When we compare that to what people spend on, courses at university to teach underwater basket weaving, that tuition is going to cost you $10,000 a year. That's easily. Crazy. You're going to end up spending $40,000 over those 4 years.
Is that a real thing? Underwater basket weaving?
It's more of a euphemism for all the people that get skill sets that aren't going to convert into the real world.
Got it.
And so essentially only 21% of people have hired a mentor. So 79% of you literally want to learn all the lessons through the School of Hard Knocks. As Ben mentioned earlier, speed is so critical, especially if you want to get there faster. And that's what I find all the time on my YouTube channel is everyone wants a silver bullet, and there is no silver bullet. We're not going to claim that there is, but we can learn from other people's mistakes, and that will decrease the iterations of the lessons that we're going to learn as real estate investors.
Yeah, and you think you don't have money for a mentor or a coach, but the truth is, when we polled the folks, they actually have more money than you think. You just are afraid to use it. But we'll use it for things like education, like real estate, like let's say you go to school for university because they give you a diploma. I find it always interesting. People really, really crave structure. And even if they don't get a result, so long as they have structure, they're super excited. Like you go to university, they give you structured classes, structured courses, they give you whatever. You don't ever get the result, but because you had structure, you feel like it was worth it. Instead of here's an opportunity of a lifetime, to just go out and do, but it's because the structure is not there. Sometimes people are like, oh, I just won't do it. Even though the result is sitting right there on the end of your fingers, you're just not doing it. So we decided to kind of put it all together and bring some structure because we understand. Like for me, I'm just willing to go out and do the work because I know that the result is there. So is Matt. But a lot of people, they just struggle with the confidence. So we decided to let you borrow from our confidence. Borrow from it, right? You have questions, you want to do deals, you need money, you need opportunities, you need off-market deals. Borrow from it because you have the resources. It's just about how do you think about the resources. So here's the action steps. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to just take a second and just figure out what is the why. If you guys don't mind, if you're open to sharing, I'm happy to look at it in the comments. What is the why? Why do you even want to do this in the first place? What is the driver? Do you have kids? Do you have a job that you hate? I had a guy who talked to yesterday, and he's like, dude, I hate my job. I'm in purchasing. It's horrible. I just need to get out. So, why do you want to do this? Because if your why is not big enough, you're probably not going to do anything with it, right? You're going to struggle to take the action because you're just I want it, but I'm okay not having it, right? And then, action steps, find a mentor, join a community, and gain some accountability. And if you're struggling with these limiting beliefs, again, you have limiting beliefs. We all do. We all have limiting beliefs about things. That's what holds us back. So let me jump in real quick. Dana's saying her why is freedom to do what she wants. That's awesome. A lot of our whys are the same thing. And to help people. I love that one because I think all of us, part of our why is to help other people. Because there's no way you'll feel fulfillment in life, just helping yourself. You'll get so far on your own. You'll save money. You'll do whatever. You'll pay things off. You have a nice car, a nice house, put your kids through school. But then it's what else am I doing for the planet? What else am I doing for my environment, for my community, for other people that need me, right?
Yeah, I went through that. If you guys know my backstory whatsoever, in 2016 when I quit my day job, for kind of 6 months, I just goofed around, played a lot of video games, drank too much, killed a lot of time, and probably some brain cells. And after those 6 months, I look back on it, and I really asked myself, am I proud of what I've done? What sort of impact did I make? And shortly after that, that's when I started founding groups like London on Fire, That's when I started my YouTube channel. And that's really when I started finding some meaning, because all of a sudden I had a bigger why than just myself. And I think it's really important that all of us, like Ben mentioned, really look into what is our why, because without that why, we're going to constantly struggle to take the action necessary in order to get the results we want. And then another key thing is we need to be willing to work harder than the next person. So again, Ben and I will tell you, it's relatively simple real estate investing, but it's not necessarily easy. There is hard work involved. And in order to constantly take the actions to make that hard work necessary, a lot of us do need someone to hold them accountable. Just yesterday, I challenged my wholesalers, Mike and Shahir. I was like, guys, let's make $50,000 each wholesaling next month.
Yeah.
In January. And immediately Shahir asked, like, oh, like, does this count today? Like, what if I get a wholesale deal today, or should I wait? And I was like, why would you even care? Why don't you just go make all the money you can? But again, he knows that he can go out and make more money, but he just needs someone pushing him harder so that he'll go out and take the actions necessary. He's making $10,000 a month wholesaling. That's great, but he knows there's so much more he could be doing. And like, it's partly my fault because I'm his mentor. I need to push him harder. And so we're pushing him harder now.
I love it. I love it. We all need a push. We all need somebody to like hold us accountable. And even when we think we're playing big, like the problem is we could be playing so much bigger. We all do this. I do this. Matt does this. We know there's more available to us. So why aren't we going to get it? Why aren't we really like pushing for more? Why are we just accepting average? Grant Cardone says, be obsessed or be average, right? B-O-B-A. Why are we just accepting less than what's available to us? I just think it's foolishness. I think it's, it's not really matching our potential, our possibility, right? If you're willing to keep going, willing to keep pushing, you can just grow so much more than where you're at today. So I love this topic. I think it's awesome. We've got a few other classes actually for Cashflow Tribe. We've already recorded some of these, Landlording 101, tips and tricks from the pros. And then we got a whole like resource tool, how to manage those effectively, like with CYP and different things you've got on the property management side.
And we've taught tons on the BRRRR as well now. So there's actually like, we're probably at half a dozen classes that we've already taught, and we're still teaching a new one every single week that you guys can learn from. In fact, this week's we focused on ARV, and that's something a lot of people are challenged with. How do I figure out what after repair value is? And that's critical whether you're a wholesaler, a flipper, or trying to do the BRRRR investment strategy. And again, we're just trying to focus on giving you guys the nuts and bolts you need, because at the start, both Ben and myself, we were really focused on just wanting those nuts and bolts. With time, we came to realize there's more than just nuts and bolts. There's also mindset, which is critical, especially if we want to move with speed.
And you know what? We all want nuts and bolts, but where's the grease? The problem is when you're trying to use the nuts and bolts and you're trying to put them together, you're just creating more friction than you need. You need to apply some grease and apply something to ease that pressure so the nuts and bolts will fit better together. Like, we are the WD-40. WD-40 is the community of people that can ease the nuts and bolts, because you're going to get these little blocks. You're going to get stuck. You're going to get friction unnecessarily because you just don't know what you just don't know. That's the reality of like living in ignorance. So, and I mean ignorance, by the way, like lack of knowledge, not like you're stupid, but we all live in some kind of ignorance. I don't know what it's like to have $200 million. It's an ignorance. Maybe it's a whole different mindset than it is to be at $50 million, right? Like, and it probably is. But breaking through these barriers and continually developing, the different layers, it's phenomenal how much quicker you can grow. The more that I am myself, the more that I just focus on my unique ability, it's funny, the more money I make. When I'm trying to do everything else under the sun that has nothing to do with me, and I'm trying to learn contracting and all these things and that are not my unique ability, it actually just slows me right down, which is crazy. So let me ask you a question. In the comments, what's the one big thing that you're really trying to take, like you're trying to work through? What, in this moment in time, what's the big roadblock to you doing that next deal, to raising that next piece of money, to doing something? Like what is the one piece that holds you guys back? I'm just curious. If you wouldn't mind sharing with me. So Mark's saying leveraging other people's money. Okay, Mark, that's good. Anybody else? Just share with me, like, what is that one piece? So what we did was, let me see, Austin, full time. Okay, cool. Selling my rental to buy a flip for Diana. Okay, cool. So Diana, like, what is that one, like, you need to sell it to buy the flip, or like, why haven't you sold it and bought that flip, right? Dilraj is saying market stability in Alberta. Okay. Well, listen, market stability equals volatility. So if you've got a very volatile market, you've got opportunity. I love unstable markets because there's a lot of opportunity there if you know how to leverage it and use it the right way. If you're waiting for the folks, if you're waiting for the market to give you deals, then you're a consumer, not an investor. Now, I want you to start thinking like an investor, not a consumer. So you don't wait for the market to give, you go and take. It's one thing for me to like give you a fish. It's another thing for me to teach you how to fish. I promise you, if you just shift this mindset, then you can completely change what you need to do. Diana's saying, I have money for a down payment. Hey, Diana, what if you didn't need money for down payment? How would that affect your purchase? What if I told you that all the money you need is literally a couple phone calls away, and you don't, it doesn't really matter what your credit is, doesn't matter what your personal thing is. All that matters is, do you have a good deal? We literally just did a training on this. And actually we have this in our 30-day bootcamp, cash flow management, leveraging OPM to scale. Like folks, I stopped using bank financing at 5 deals because the banks were like, no, you can only have so much, you're self-employed, you know, we don't like this and this. And I had to literally go out, and I figured that they were gonna keep shutting me down. So after a couple no's, I was like, you know what, I gotta find a better way. I just started borrowing from private investors. And as a result, I've done over 200 deals with just private capital. So you don't need bank money. You just need to understand the way that money is made and how to use it, right? Cash flow strategies, and then big thing, which is tax strategy and using the code wisely. There's so many things that we don't know. The more educated we get, especially listening to what I call him the sage, the wise old sage, Matt McKeever, like he just knows so much, especially about tax strategy and that kind of stuff. So here's what I want you guys to do, okay? I want you guys to consider just joining Tribe. It's amazing, especially if you're on off-market deals. We've got deals on there right now, but it's time for you to really get results. And we've got some Tribe members here in the comment section. So go ahead and just give me, you know, let me know if you're a Tribe member already. This is what we do, folks. We do weekly training and accountability. We are experienced practitioners. It's not just Matt and I. We bring on amazing people who are doing deals every day in all different markets in Canada. By the way, I love Alberta and I love those other markets because there's so much opportunity for people that just are in the know. There's not a whole lot of people that are doing it right. The biggest thing that we offer really is just the accountability piece, is getting accountable with people, one-on-one with people that can help you really start making a progress in your real estate business. Tools and resources, we got a whole bunch of tools, resources. We have hours and hours and hours of video content, curated content, specific pieces. So landlording, specific pieces on lending, specific pieces on doing wholesale deals, which is a huge topic for us, right? We also do special events. We just did one last week.
Yep.
And it was awesome. It was 2 very intimate days with 18 Tribe members. And I know that like lives were changed. We've got a couple people that were here, like Mike Nowicki was there, and it was just so powerful. So not to mention the mentorship, and then, you know, the hours and hours of on-demand content. That's what's included. We've also got all these off-market deals. So if you subscribe and are in Tribe, you'll get access to all of them. So who's looking to buy a deal? Could show of hands in the next 30 days. If that's you, give me a thumbs up, because we could probably help you get a really good deal instead of just, you know, overpaying on the MLS. Woo! Take a little break. I know it's a little bit of information overload. I know it's a lot, so just obviously there's only so much we can cover in you know, kind of 50 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But don't stress listening, guys. It's not that hard to build a $10,000 a month cash flow. It really isn't. I know it seems like it is because everybody else around you is struggling, but you don't have to. Okay? There's a fast way and a slow way. And the reason I've done 200 deals is because I just chose the fast path, but I paid to play. I learned from mentorships. I learned from experiences. Like I said, I got over 200 grand in this baby. So, you know, that's why, and we're here to help you. We've got hundreds of members in Cashflow that are conversing every day. That are building conversations every day. I'd be so honored if you want to come join us. So, you know, listen, it's just about accountability, consistency, right? Like, I love talking about how I make 30 grand a month. It's not about a brag. It's about you can do it too. And that's passive, by the way. That's not my active business. That's my completely passive portfolio that does 30K a month, right? So, and then Matt's making, you know, great money. I don't know if you always want to share it, but, you know, great money with his, well, it says 80, but you're at over 100 now.
Over 100
just because we started putting the slides together.
Yeah. And we're constantly looking right now under contract with another 14 unit building. We're constantly making offers and doing deals. And so we're the boots on the ground. We literally know where the market is at today. Unlike a lot of those stage speakers and gurus that it was 10, 20, 30 years since they've done a real estate deal.
Yeah.
And we're really focused on getting you guys access to those off-market deals weekly, because there are deals on the MLS, but you need to negotiate hard. You need to make a ton of offers. And realistically, a lot of the investors I know and deal with, they want off-market deals because there's less competition. There's greater chance for information asymmetry. And that's really what we're focused on helping you guys with if you're part of the Cashflow Tribe.
Yeah, we actually got a quick question coming in. Ken says, how do we get access to private OPM? Well, here's the cool part. I'm actually a private lender. We've got a mortgage business here, and Cashflow Tribe has right now different funds. We have a $2 million fund available for Tribe just for deal flow. That's actually what Danny used to fund his deal. So we actually raise capital, we partner with people, and we show you how to do the same thing. So there's a lot of opportunities. So even if you did one deal and you got access to it, what would it be worth to you guys? If you're paying on the MLS and you could find a way to save 20% on your next purchase, would it be worth $1,000? Would it be worth $5 grand, 10 grand more? Like, just give me a number. What would it be worth to just find one off-market deal or just get the next few deals funded, right? And really just, you guys know what we're all about at this point. It's a community of successful investors, and not everybody's, experienced. We got brand new people, we got experienced people. So you're going to connect with different people differently. You got to find the right profile for you and figure out which way you need to go. Investing is a very personal journey, and it's like, it's hard to put you into a box and say, just do this. Yes, there is a tactical way to grow, but depending on your goals, your strategy, that's the reason a lot of those big box education companies don't work, because they just give you a program to say fail or don't fail, and it just doesn't work. So we want to help you understand the game so you can play it the right way. We've got different classes which actually have happened. We've got more that are coming available. All of these are recorded, by the way, and they're all available for Cashflow Tribe members. By the way, every recording that we do goes back into Cashflow Tribe database. You can watch it anytime you want. So we've got a live training that we do. It's a 4-week Cashflow Bootcamp. That's a $1,500 value. All the recordings are on demand, meaning that you can go watch them at any point. That's a $500 value. Access to off-market deal. Well, it's worth whatever you make it worth. It could be worth thousands to you if you take advantage of it. Access to private accountability group. It's an $800 value. And then we've got a members-only event that we do, which is worth about $200 typically to get a ticket. There's over $3,000 of value to join Cashflow Tribe. Now, again, it's not for everybody, okay? This is only for people that want to pursue cash flow, that maybe brand new to real estate, that want to get invested, want to get started, or maybe you're a wholesaler looking for more opportunities to either find buyers or deals, or for landlords who want to start growing their portfolio, and for basically practitioners of real estate. It's also for lenders who are looking for an opportunity to start lending money back out, and even for realtors if you want to grow your network and grow your community. But you got to come prepared to give up yourself, to stay focused, because our hundreds of members, they want people that are focused just like they're focused, okay? So listen, we had a couple options when we made this whole thing. We could either charge a whole bunch and get a small handful of people in, or we could charge nothing and then everybody and the mother would want to come in. So we chose to make it as feasible as possible. So it really is a no-brainer. So if only you bought one property in the next 12 months, and made an extra $200 a month, would that work for you? Would it be interested? Okay. And if you got one technique that made you 10 grand, like wholesale, like Mike Nowicki, right, who's actually on the call here, right? What's it worth to you guys? Just give me a number real quick if you could. What's it worth? Is it worth $1,000, 5 grand, 10 grand? Okay. Listen, I hope you got some amazing value here today. And if you decide that, hey, I'm cool with it, no problem. Hope you guys have a great time. Hope you learned some stuff. Hope that you took some information away. Hope you took some book recommendations away. But there's a lot more that we have available. So here's the deal. We're not going to charge you thousands or any of that stuff. Okay. Not even $1,000, not even $600. It's $59 a month. Okay. You pay for the whole year. It's $49. And I promise you, this is the best $50 a month you'll ever spend on your personal education. We know the value in Tribe. And because we're a newer company, we are stacking value in there every week. More opportunities, more live sessions, more training, more high-level speakers, more deals, and we know that we are the bigger pockets of Canada. So we're just absolutely thrilled to have people coming in. The right people. If you're sitting back like, $50, hey, save your money. Appreciate having you on the call. No worries, no problems, okay? If you guys want to sign up, head over to cashflowtribecanada.com/ sign up, or what you can do is I'm going to drop the offer right now. I've got 10 minutes there. You can just click the sign up right now. We're going to take your questions now because we promised we would. And by the way, guys, it's 7 days free right now. So if you sign up, the first 7 days is free. If you decide in 7 days, hey, I hate this, it doesn't work, whatever, no problem. God bless you. Have a nice day. You know, we don't need your money. We want your commitment. And we actually recognize that we want other people with strong, unique abilities and people that really want to learn, because we love catching people when they're coming up. And just, it's not a handout, it's a hand up. That's the way we think about Cashflow Tribe. We love to give you help and push you up. So if you try it out for 7 days, you don't like it, no worries. If you try it out for 7 days and you love it, stick with us. Let's keep going. So cashflowtrapcanada.com/sign up. Bring your questions, guys, because we're going to go over some questions right now. You've got there's 9 minutes on the screen. We'll be live for another 9 minutes. Then we're going to respect your time and ours and boot off. And so, but bring your questions for the next few minutes. This link will, I think it expires at the end of the 9-minute session. So if you're interested in this, sign up right now. You know, let's get going. So let's see here. We've got a couple members already. We got a few questions, Matt, if you wouldn't mind addressing them. Let's see here. Maybe talk to Ken about some private.
Yeah, how can we actually get access to private OPM using your system? So Ben's constantly breaking down in the Cashflow Tribe group, as well as in the accountability group, how he, as a private lender, views the deals that people give to him, right? And one of your big pet peeves is when people just send Ben a photo of the house and then a question mark. That's essentially the same thing as texting someone at 2 a.m. in the morning with a question mark. It's really not that good of an approach if you really want to get access to money. What you need to do is really think like a lender. What does the lender want to see? They want to make sure that you're taking care of their investment. They worked hard to make that money. They've taken a lot of time to accumulate those resources. So before they hand it off to you, they want to see that you're competent, that you're confident with your investment strategy. So what you need to do is not build out like a 100-page report that's like going to take them years to leaf through. What you want to do is very clearly and concisely break down for them exactly what your investment strategy is, how their money is going to be used, and then what your exit strategy is. And this is really important. A lot of investors struggle with this concept, but you need to break down for that private lender exactly what your exit strategy is, so they know how they're going to get their money back, because that's their money and they care a lot about it.
Yeah, it's tough to, like, you know, somebody asked, like, how do we pitch a deal? Well, there's a specific way to pitch a deal. We just did a training on this actually earlier today, which we're going to be launching in Tribe. And it's less complicated than you think. Again, a lot of us have these limiting beliefs about bank financing and all this stuff that has nothing to do with private money lending. Private money lending is about you. It's about the deal. What's the risk that the lender has to go through? And what's the reward? Those are the two big questions you need to answer right off the bat. Nobody wants a full-out report with your opinion of the market and all this other stuff. It doesn't matter. What matters is it a great deal? And is there enough ROI for the lender or JV partner to actually want to do the deal? One of the secrets to raising money for you guys is there are plenty of JV opportunities with private lenders who want to be the passive side so you can be the active side, okay? So you guys got a few minutes left. Hop over to cashflowtribecanada.com. It's absolutely free. What do you got to lose for 7 days to check it out? Yeah. Watch all the video, binge watch as much as you want, especially over the Christmas holiday. Listen, this is the best free gift you can give yourself. Just check it out. If you don't check it out, I don't understand why you wouldn't, because you're on this call and this is free. So it's this times 1,000. Just go to cashflowtribecanada.com. Let's take the next question here. Let's see here.
So what's a more effective way to start for a beginner, wholesaling or converting other people's rentals into Airbnb? I think both of them are great investment strategies depending upon what your exact goal is, right? So a big thing you need to look at is, what is your why? What are we trying to accomplish with real estate investing? I know investors that are crushing it with Airbnb re-rentals. That's the strategy you're kind of hinting at. I also have a house full of wholesalers that are doing really well for themselves. Mike Nowicki, I think, has done over $45,000 now in wholesale fees this year alone. He moved in. He started learning about real estate in May of this year. Before that, he'd never seen a real estate contract, never made an offer. I don't think he'd ever even done a walkthrough of a property before. It really comes down to how motivated you are. What's your unique ability? What's your unique skill? and then really trying to craft your strategy and real estate investment approach around those factors. And way too often I find investors are constantly chasing shiny object syndrome. So you see 1 week I'm talking on my YouTube channel about rent to own. So you're going to do rent to owns. The next week, Sean Allen's on there doing flipping. The week after that, there's a Burr investor like one of the Sarah Larby or Sarah Eder in Brantford. And constantly you're just chasing your tail because you're jumping from one strategy to another. I think part of it is there's a lack of accountability there. There's a lack of a feedback loop. So you immediately just switch.
That's right. There's a lack of focus there because you're not following one proven thing. You're jumping shit because it's too difficult or becomes too whatever. Again, you're struggling to put the nut into the bolt, but then you just need some grease. If you had some grease, it'd be so much easier with that WD-40. How many of you guys follow Matt on social media? Give me a thumbs up. I'm just curious, how many social media folks do we have here? So we hop on the next question. By the way, guys, you have about 4 minutes left before we end the session here today. Cashflowtribecanada.com. If you want to, take advantage of, it's a free 7-day offer.
Like Ben was saying, it's absolutely free. 2019 is about to come to an end. How many of you wanted to get into real estate investing in 2019? And how many of you are still struggling to do it? Or how many of you set out to double your portfolio this year, and how many actually accomplished it? If right now you're thinking about, okay, 2020 is going to be different, this is how you start 2020 off differently, is by signing up for this. Again, 7 days, absolutely free. There's hours and hours of content for you to binge. If you don't learn anything from that, bounce.
I get it. And Ken wants to know, what kind of properties are we actually talking about? Guys, off-market deals, single families, duplexes, multifamilies, there's all different opportunities. If you're not going to find one in Tribe you want to buy, then you're going to learn in Tribe how to buy and how to find your own deal. So again, it's both. It's about really teaching you how to fish, but we have some fish there already. Now, they go quickly. You got to understand, people in Tribe are hungry. We are a hungry tribe. We're humble but hungry. We like to grow. So if you don't jump on deals when they come, they're going to be gone quickly because everybody, again, results and action taken is what's missing for a lot of folks. It's not just about education. It's about what we do with that education. Does that make sense, folks? Okay. Mark saying, I like 6 pages. No, I do not. I like 1 page as a lender, and I'm happy to fund anybody's deals if the deal makes sense and it's 1 page and it's not, access risk. Dana says, do I have to be a member to do a deal with you guys? Dana, I'm reserving all of my deals for Tribe members only, because if you can't commit to me for, a free 7-day trial, then I probably don't want to commit looking at a whole bunch of deals and spending time. In all fairness, because we got a lot of demand on our time these days. So.
We need filters as well, just like anyone else, and that's one of the filters. We want to give first and top priority to people that are committed to us so that we can fully commit and invest into them. I've seen it so often where they watch a handful of my videos, they get really excited for a day, and then they fall off completely because there's no commitment there. There's no accountability. There's no feedback. And that's what Tribe is really doing. It's bridging that gap. You guys get excited when you see my YouTube video or Graham Steffens or Meet Kevin's or whoever's it is, but then what do you do next? And that's where Cashflow Tribe is going to bridge the gap.
So you got to commit to something, folks. Like if you commit to signing up, then I'll commit to having a conversation to help you out. I'm more than happy to. We've got hundreds and hundreds of members in Tribe, and we're all open. We're in that conversation every day. Matt, myself, and we have a whole team. There's probably 20 of us that are in there having conversations and stuff. So we're there to help each other grow. But I get people who message me on Instagram like, hey, can you help me with my whole portfolio for free? No, I can't. I'm a business owner. I've got my own family to feed, my own team, my own tribe to take care of. So become part of the tribe, and I'm happy to give you my left arm. But if you just want a freebie in life, it just doesn't work that way, because you can't go to university for free and get a free education there either, okay? You got a few minutes left, guys. Click the button or go to cashflowtribecanada.com. Toby says, do you think it makes more sense to get into the market with less than 20% instead of waiting to get 20%? Will 5% give you issues on refinancing? Toby, get into the market now. You do not need 20%. The reason you're thinking you need 20% because you're going with conventional bank financing and you're worried about the burr on the back end. You're focusing on what do you do after the deal is all done with the refinance, and you're not even focusing on the buy. So Toby, I would say get in the deal now. You don't even need that 20% if you know what you're doing. If you just get the right information and the right mentorship, you can get into deals with 0 money down, and the burr will still work out on the back end. But you got to buy the deal at the right price, number one. And the way to do that is to learn how to find off-market deals, number 2. Number 3, if you learn how to leverage capital the right way through OPM, you will not get stuck on the back end. The people who get stuck only have one exit, and that's where most people go wrong. They have the bank as their only exit. Guys, I have a secondary, tertiary. I've got 5 exits on every deal I do, and that's why I don't get stuck. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Boom. Next question here. Ben, got a deal Windsor need financing on. Where can Tribe members send deals to you to look at? Wonderful. Hey, Jordan, if you're in Tribe, pop in there. Just shoot me a message. Be happy to connect with you. We've got a whole website. Shoot me a message in Tribe. I'll send you the actual Tribe website where you can go and submit your deals for JV. I'm more than happy to connect with you guys. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up here. I think we just finished our thing here. If you didn't get a chance to jump in, we'll give you 1 more minute to hop in here before we wrap up for the day. CashflowTribeCanada.com/sign up or click the offer button there. Listen, it's free. I've had every objection under the sun. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't have time to watch it. I don't have any money to do deals. I don't have any real estate to do deals. You don't have all those things. So you need to get into Tribe so you can start making progress on those things. Okay, what's the worst that happens? You get some free mentorship for 7 days and you get some amazing training, and you're gonna meet some awesome people in your town that are in Tribe. We have hundreds, 700 members now in beta.
In beta alone.
Right, so all you need to do is just join. See, the problem, folks, isn't about you committing to the deal. You have to just commit. You have to make that micro commitment to yourself. If you can get this done, I'm telling you from my own personal experience, if you can get this micro commitment done and just try it, then you'll open up the floodgate to way more opportunity, because for a moment you're starting to live in abundance instead of scarcity. If everything is glass half empty, glass half empty, glass half empty, and you won't even pull the trigger on the smallest minutia thing, like a free trial, then you'll never pull the trigger on a multifamily deal or a single family deal or a trailer park. Like, you won't pull the trigger on anything because you'll be stuck in the same scarcity. So the way to get out of scarcity is to practice gratitude, practice curiosity, and just take action. So, hey, appreciate having you guys on here. Amazing chatting with you folks. Really, really great. Anything you want to say before we're out of here?
I'm just really glad that you guys took the hour to invest in your education so far. Why not take it one step further? Sign up for the 7-day free trial. This is really that book Ben recommended way earlier, The Slight Edge. They talk about the tiny actions we take that compounds over time.
Yeah.
A tiny action that you have to decide on right now is, do I sign up for the free 7-day trial or do I not? And that decision is going to compound over time. If you sign up for it, you've now got 7 days to just watch all the content we've created. Next Tuesday, I'll be going live again. Yeah, I think it's Christmas Eve. I'll still go live in Alpha because that's how dedicated I am to your guys' education. You get a free live class with me. Why not take us up on that offer? This is that slight little compound that's going to lead to bigger things. Don't wait until 2020 to start taking control of your financial lives.
Seriously, start today. I mean, if you wait till 2020, you'll wait till 2021 and
Exactly.
2022. The people who win, the people who crush January are the people that crush December. That's just how it goes. So if you start now, you have a phenomenal head start in January. If you don't start now, then you'll just, like, look, Danny Godbout's in the thing, and he says, sign up now. We found Danny through this same thing. Danny came in through a webinar, I think, and he's just like, he's in for a few weeks. He does his first deal. Like, it's just next level stuff. So, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for spending an hour with us. You guys are awesome. Jonathan's saying, color me convinced, signing up. Awesome. Welcome. Again, it's free. Just check it out. Let me know what you think. I love your comments, and I love to fund your deals. Love to help you raise some OPM. I love to help you blast some of those limiting beliefs. So have a great night. If we don't talk to you soon, Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year, and stay focused. You got this. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Cashflow Tribe.
All right, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you did. If you want to learn more about Cashflow Tribe, you can always go to cashflowtribecanada.com or check out Cashflow Tribe Beta Facebook group, a completely free Facebook group where you just get more great content from myself and Ben. Again, this is really focused on building a community, building a tribe of real estate investors, because learning from the School of Hard Knocks is just so expensive and so time consuming that we want to save you guys the time, the hassle, and the stress involved that we took over 2 decades of learning all this stuff ourselves. Again, check out Cashflow Tribe. If you guys enjoyed this type of video, let me know in the comment section and we'll do more videos like this in the future.